This week, a North Carolina Tar Heel who did a stint as a Northwestern Wildcat, a big shot maker with a high hoops IQ from a basketball legacy family, NBA draft prospect big man, Pete Nance.
This episode of One Star Recruits is brought to you by 500 Level. It's 500level.com for all the best shirts in sports. All the finals going on right now. Get your Max Strus Heat jersey. Came out of nowhere. Your Jack Eichel, Las Vegas Golden Knights, possibly the Stanley Cup MVP. Go get his gear on 500 Level. They have mystery shirts for $8. Discount code 1STAR gets you 20% off everything on the site. It's the number one STAR at 500level.com. Let's go.
This is Pete Nance, and I'm on with the One Star Recruits podcast.
Yo, aloha. Welcome to the One Star Recruits podcast. I'm DK, joined with my best friend in 25 years, Rip. Welcome to the One Star Recruits podcast. We're one stars. We surround ourselves with 5 stars of all lives. This week, we have a guy who spent some time in the Mecca, Rip, in the land of basketball, North Carolina. A Tar Heel. We talk about a huge shot, but we have a Tar Heel. You know what it got me thinking about, Rip, actually? Great interview. Loved having Pete on. Really a lot of fun. You guys are going to love this interview, One Stars. But I'm so proud of us, Rip, that we're doing so good this draft year. The Thompson twins, come on. And then Pete Nance, but we had the Thompson twins on before anybody. It's very impressive.
It's crazy, and I love getting these guys on before they kind of blow up. We had the Thompson twins on like before they even hired an agent, before months ago, DK, when nobody knew who they were. Now in 14 days, the whole world's going to know who they are.
Yeah, the Thompson twins. We got draft buzz in the air. I talked about it a couple pods ago. NBA draft means summer a little bit. You can taste the summer in there. You can feel like you're going to go swimming at a lake. Maybe your feet are going to touch some of the mossy green stuff in the lake, and then you get out. You go get like a icy, maybe some lemon heads, and chill at a picnic table. Summer's here. That's what the NBA draft means to me a little bit. Did I get too specific on you, Rip? Is that too specific? I can actually go a little bit deeper on what the NBA draft means to me. You want me to take it next level deeper?
Yeah, go for it.
Here is truly where my mind goes the second I hear the words NBA draft. I said NFL draft. I meant NBA draft. Is family camp, Prescott, Arizona. 4 years of my life, my whole family before the divorce. So this was a dysfunctional trip as you can ever imagine. But we went up as a family to family camp. You drink bug juice and play beach volleyball and sing songs around the campfire. But you can sign up if you want. But we chose, me and my pops in particular. I remember it because he was super cool, but he was probably being super bit of an asshole too on this trip. Nevertheless, you sign up for a trip to hike from Prescott to Cottonwood. It's a pretty big hike. I think it's like 12 miles. Once you get down to Cottonwood, there's a little place to have some lunch. And you have some lunch. It's kind of like a burger, grilled cheese, patty melt type place. And you have beers. Adults have beers. Kids have sodas. Good times were had. Anyway, 2 years in a row, we hit that. We did it. We successfully got to Cottonwood. Guess what was on, Rip? NBA draft. I'm looking up. I'm watching AC Law get drafted. Texas A&M. All right.
Wow.
Bro.
What a throwback. AC Law, the fourth, right?
AC Law the fourth. We're seeing it's very interesting drafts happening at this time in my life. Guess what? I was hooked, man. I was hooked to the NBA draft. It meant a lot of things. So I think I have that memory of some family time, a little bit of summer. Everybody loves new beginnings. The Phoenix Suns, they were my team. They were never great drafters, Rip. You know what I mean? Am I right? Am I right or am I wrong about that?
We had some good ones, but I think it was more trades. Like they got Marley in a trade, they got Barkley in a trade, They got Kevin Johnson in a trade. So they were better traders than drafters, I think.
Yeah, we're traders. Phoenix Suns traders. We should be the Phoenix Traders. That would be a interesting team name. But better traders than drafters. There's not a lot of guys that I can truly. Was Kevin Johnson an original draft pick?
Ironically, DK, the person we have on this pod, Pete Nance, his dad, Larry, was traded from Phoenix to Cleveland for Kevin Johnson and Dan Marley and a couple other throw-ins. It's incredible, just the lineage that Pete has. And Larry was obviously a legend in Arizona when we were growing up.
Yeah, brings us up to Pete Nance, man. He had that face. He had that mean throwdown dunk. Pete, he came to the Valley with a little bit of charisma. We needed that, man. I think that set the stages for what Phoenix Suns basketball eventually became in the 90s. A lot of good stuff. And yeah, way to bring it full circle, bro. Pete Nance here on the podcast. So good interview, listeners. You guys are going to love it. What do we have going on, Rip? We have NBA finals in full effect. They're popping off, actually. It's been really good stuff so far for me. I kind of get the feeling a lot of, unless you're an NBA head at this point in time, you kind of glance at it, you get a little bit of it. People have taken on a lot of basketball, over the past 3 or 4 months. But if you dig in, it's so good for basketball heads. I'm loving every moment of it. You have the people hopping in now, like my wife, who's like, who's this Joker guy? Who's this Jokic? Obviously, they didn't listen to AI Joker on our last podcast. But suddenly, finally, Mr. Joker, Mr. Djokovic, getting his due, I think, in the national eye. At least housewives are asking their husbands about this guy now at this point in time. This is a good starting point for Denver basketball.
That's when you know your A-list is when people who know nothing about sports are dropping your name and asking about you. But yeah, it's crazy. I was a Nuggets in 4 guy. I know the Heat got one in Denver. I'm not doubting the Heat because, people have been doubting them the whole playoffs, but I think I'm a Nuggets in 5 guy now, DK. I think that they're going to find a way to take both in Miami and come back and win it in game 5 in Denver. We'll see.
It's a lot of the same stuff that happened to the Nuggets at the end of this season, these weird third quarters where suddenly they go on these cold streaks. And the NBA is a game of runs. This thing happens, but they really got to stay mentally strong through those. Michael Malone, we're looking right at you. Got to keep that team strong. I think they're going to win too, but Miami Heat, man, they have this essence. We talked about it on the last podcast, this culture we're not going to dig into, but talking to a guy like Pete Nance, he's kind of a prime example of what's happening right now is successful NBA teams, i.e. the Miami Heat, who are able to plug some holes with guys who don't take off a lot of money, don't eat up a lot of salary cap, come in. And then we see through these playoff series, oh shit, these guys are ballers. These guys are hoopers. We don't need Caleb Martin to beat Kobe Bryant every night. We just need to do that once a series, In this day and age, that's worth 15 to 20 million a year. So I think a guy like Nance kind of is at a good stage to hit the draft. What can those guys do in my mind, Rep? A player who's kind of this in between big. He has to be able to guard a handful of positions. He has to be able to set good screens for sure. Pass well at this point in time, especially that's the new big thing coming. You got to be able to pass well, and you have to be able to hit an open shot as a big now. 3-pointers, extra credit, but you have to be able to hit an open shot now. And I think Miami's like the blueprint a little bit for this. You're telling me like a guy like Pete Nance, Rip, couldn't step in for maybe Kevin Love right now and do some of the same stuff, high IQ big. They don't grow on trees.
It's a great call because if you look at where he's projected, a lot of people are saying he might not even get drafted, but it's those undrafted free agents, and he's actually almost too big a name for what Miami's doing right now because you got Gabe Vincent from UC Santa Barbara, a couple D2 guys, Duncan Robinson, didn't even play D1, I believe. Pete Nance had his year at North Carolina, which is cream of the crop, top tier, blue blood. But yeah, it's a good call. I think if for some reason he doesn't get drafted, I think it would be a great landing spot for him because he said it himself in the interview, especially with dunking, his athletic ability. He still has a lot of upside, DK.
Yeah, and look at some teams. Look at the Golden State Warriors. They may be in need for. There always are. Who we got? JaMychal Green is the guy now coming off the bench at that position. Pass. The Los Angeles Lakers. They're gonna always be looking for bodies when Anthony Davis either gets injured or gets into foul trouble to come in. And Vanderbilt has the motor. How about a guy who sets good screens? And that doesn't always show up in the stat sheets, unfortunately, too, Rip. But I think the NBA is starting to recognize this slowly but surely. And this Miami experience is shining a light on it. So good shit there for the NBA and for guys like Pete Nance. We'll see. What do you think, Rip? He's not, I'll be honest, it looks like he's not even in the top 100 maybe guys to be drafted. Possibly looks like a good early draft pick for a G League team. No disrespect. What do you see happening on draft night?
Mock drafts are all over the place. You can find him anywhere from being a second round pick to going undrafted. But he told us himself he's on the workout circuit. He's in Sacramento during our interview. He's doing his West Coast swing. All it takes is one impressive workout and to really impress one of those GMs or scouts to get drafted or at least signed as an undrafted free agent. So he's bottom line is he's 6'10". He's got a ton of athletic ability and he can hit an open shot. There's always going to be a place for guys like that.
I made my piece. I've said my piece with him. So GMs, if you're listening, he didn't go to Michigan State. So he's not like a lot of those guys who go to Michigan State, those 6'10 guys who end up being out of the league in 2 years. I think he has a pedigree with the family. That little Northwestern touch is interesting, Rip, because Collins is a great coach. And then let's mix in some North Carolina where you get some big moments and you got to show up. It has all the essence of an NBA player. Enjoy this interview with Pete Nance.
Now joining the One Star Recruits podcast, we have a native of Akron, Ohio, the youngest of 3 basketball-playing siblings, a 2023 NBA draft prospect, and a sucker for lemon cream Oreos. Pete Nance is here with the One Star Recruits. Thanks for hanging out with the One Stars, Pete.
Oh, no, I'm happy to be here. I appreciate you guys having me on.
We're glad to have you. The draft is coming up. We're going to talk about that in a minute. DK is our food guy on the show, so we want to talk some grub also. But let's start with what's going on in your life right now. Your last collegiate game was 3 months ago in the ACC tournament. You don't post much on social media, but you're locked in with Priority Sports, doing workouts, getting ready to see what the future holds after the NBA draft a couple weeks from now. How are you spending your days right now in what is really probably one of the biggest months of your life?
Yeah, so I've spent probably the last 2.5 or 2 months or so in Chicago just training, just trying to get better. And I think this is it's a really unique time for all draft prospects because this is like the first time in our lives where we're not really on a team. We're all kind of on our own team and worried about ourselves and our own individual, skill, but mental development. So it's been really, really fun. But just recently, I kind of got heavily into the workouts. I think I did my 4th one yesterday, and I got probably 5 more to go. So it's been picking up and just been having a lot of fun doing, what I've been training and preparing for kind of all my life. So it's been great.
It's super fun, bro. For the One Stars out there too, who've always dreamed about walking into these NBA practice facilities, just nevertheless, just a human being in you as you do them. It's big time. You got to show up. I know you're showing up. But what's it like for the listeners out there to show up to some of these practice facilities to work out? It's got to be kind of tight.
Yeah, no, it's awesome. I mean, it's all top of the line facilities. All these places have everything that you can imagine as far as resources go for their athletes. So it's really just a surreal experience to be able to be a part of something like that. And, it's really exciting to just know that, hopefully I can be a part of one of these programs next year. And it's just, there's really no confusion as to why these athletes and these programs and everything are as successful as they historically have been.
Yeah, for sure, man. And no confusion why you're there working out. We're rooting for you, Pete. You've already had so many big moments in your 5 years spent playing college hoops. Talk about some of those. I mean, one, you're an Ohio guy and you hit a shot at the buzzer at MSG back in December to send a game into overtime against Ohio State. Amazing. Your Tar Heels eventually won. So let me mention that too. That's very important in this story. Did that go on your Mount Rushmore of top moments during your Tar Heel career?
Absolutely. I mean, it might have been in my whole playing career. Honestly, I've never really hit a game tying or a game winning shot like that really mattered. I might have hit one in, 3rd grade or 4th grade or something like that. But to be able to do that in a place like Madison Square Garden that I grew up watching, great players play and make amazing plays, I think, it was a dream come true for me.
Bro, it's such a nice shot. Did you have any intuition? Was there any manifest that possibly that was going to be your shot?
Honestly, no. I think, they ended up drawing the play up for me. And I was having a decent game. But I think everybody was kind of like, why is it going to him instead of, I think Armando was going absolutely crazy that game. But no, I'm definitely glad they drew it up for me and trusted me with it, and it ended up paying off.
Nance's stay ready, man. The Nance's stay ready. It was a huge shot, man. It was a huge shot. Dude, we've had a couple Northwestern guys on this podcast. Darren Ravel was on. He totally taught us some lessons on the value of things we probably threw away when we were younger. Dude, we had legendary running back Darnell Autry on the pod, and they always talk about their degree before they mention anything else about their careers or whatnot. They love Evanston. So you're part of this club, man. Kind of walk me through this degree, because listeners out there, this man has a degree from radio, TV, and film, which is amazing, from a great school. You could probably walk into ESPN right now and grab a nice gig. Was that the idea, going to school there and getting this degree?
I think so. Yeah. I think I've always kind of been interested in, like broadcasting and different things like that. And, to go off what you were saying earlier, Evanston is a really special place. I really loved it there and really enjoyed my time there. It's where I grew up and kind of became a man. So, I really loved it there. But I think my degree definitely is super important to me. I think being able to have some of those connections like Darren Rovell, I think is something that's huge and going to be huge for me moving forward, especially, after I'm done playing, being able to know some of those, being able to stay connected with them and pursue a career after I'm done playing, I think will be big for me.
Yeah, man. Yeah, we're big Northwestern fans. I'd love to see them do well in that athletic department. Who are some of the guys you looked up to or now even currently in broadcasting? Who are some of your favorites when Pete's chilling? Who are your favorites that you're watching or listening to?
I think everybody's favorite, at least for me, when you're watching Shaq and Chuck and Kenny, all those guys up there, I think that's easily my favorite thing to watch. I think when you can have not only great personalities, but great players up there on a panel and providing their valuable insight, I think it's just something that a lot of the other people in the space can't do or can't relate to. And I think that's why you see such success from them and why they're kind of everybody's favorite.
Yeah, same, man. I find myself, games will be over. I'll hop over to the cooking channel or something at a commercial and oh shit, I got to get back. Got to catch Kenny, Charles, and Shaq, man. Totally agree. They've captured it in a bottle. We're all trying to kind of do our little bit of that. But what's nice is they're vulnerable and they're themselves. I think that's what people will appreciate with you, basketball and post basketball. Okay, bro, this is in the news. You can tell me if this is cheesy or not, and if you're even sick of this question, but you have an epic NIL deal, listeners, with Oreo cookie. And you've been promoting the lemon cream Oreo. I know that's your jam. I like the mint ones particularly here. I think Rip still eats a double stuff like a child. But bro, here's my question. I've heard rumors that if you go to the factory, Oreos come fresh off the heating belt and people can try them. Was this part of the new NIL deal, or did you try this, or is this even true?
Yeah, I didn't go to any Oreo factory or anything like that. As much as I would love to, I think that sounds great. I'd love to get that. I'd love to get that arranged, but I definitely haven't been to their facility or anything like that.
Yeah, not yet. What's your top three? We know you like the lemon cream. What's your next two on the list?
Okay, yeah. So I'm probably gonna go a big sleeper. I think with Oreos is the thins. I think Oreo thins are heavily slept on. So I'll probably go regular Oreo thins as my number two, and I think number three, I'd probably have to go with the mint. The mint ones, but I stay pretty exclusively to the lemon Oreos,
which is fairly unique. It's fairly unique, Pete, to go to the lemons. I think it's kind of like a black licorice cookie, to be honest with you. I think people love them or hate them.
Well, it's crazy because that's like there are a lot of people that have told me like I absolutely hate these, and I'm like, I don't even know how that's possible because they're absolutely delicious. So you're absolutely right. I mean, it's like it's either you love them or you hate them, and I'm definitely on the love side.
Yeah,
for sure.
It's a cool deal, man. Well done. But kudos to that deal.
If you had a Oreo eating contest, what would you max out at? What's the limit you could lemon cream you could put down in like an hour?
Oh man, it's
triple digits.
It could get bad. Oh, triple digits? I don't know. That's
triple.
Triple digits is crazy.
That's crazy. That's Zion. That's Zion numbers. Zion numbers.
Yeah, I don't know how many are in a sleeve. If you get me on some kind of Netflix show or something where I'm not really thinking about it, I could put them away pretty good.
We get you up against our guy Joey Chestnut on the 4th of July.
Jay Chestnut, that's our guy.
Oh yeah, well that's Joey Chestnut doesn't want these problems with Oreos. I'm not going after him with hot dogs, but
shots fired.
He don't want these problems. Yeah.
Pete, we end every interview with a segment we call 1 star to 5 star. Everybody knows we're 1 stars. We're trying to get better with advice and tips from guys we have on this podcast like yourself. So I want to ask a few questions. They run the gamut on the 1 to 5 star scale, 1 being the lowest, 5 being the highest. DK mentioned that Northwestern degree that nobody can ever take away from you. I'm a fellow broadcast journalism degree holder, but from a much lesser institution, Arizona State. What's a 5-star job, even if it's not media related? What's something you could see yourself doing once your playing days are over?
I really do think I have a good part of my game is that I have a high basketball IQ. So I do think that I would love to coach in some form, when I'm done playing. I don't know or haven't thought about a ton exactly what that looks like or at what level. But I think that is definitely something that I would be interested in.
Okay. Yeah, that's well down the road, but I'm always curious what guys think about, life after basketball. So we mentioned off the top, you're the youngest of three siblings. Your brother Larry plays for the New Orleans Pelicans. Your sister Casey had a great career at Dayton. There's some really good things about being the youngest sibling. You get to learn from all their mistakes. Sometimes your parents are even less hard on you because you're the baby of the family. But what's been the one star thing about being the youngest Nance child? Maybe something you've had to deal with over the years that Larry and Casey didn't have to go through.
Yeah, I think it's definitely probably the expectations. It's hard. I'm obviously super lucky to have my dad, my brother, and my sister there as role models for me, but it's almost really hard that they have had my dad had a 13-year NBA career and my brother's going to go on 9. So sometimes I feel like or things I've dealt with or struggled with is like, if I don't get there, or if I don't have as long of a career as them, what does that look like? Or am I a failure? And that's something that I've dealt with since I was young. But I think in the past 4 or 5 years, I've really gotten a lot better with it. And I think just being able to know that I'm running my own race and I'm doing my own thing and I've got my own path that already looks totally different from both my dad, my brother, and my sister. So just really embracing that and just trying to put my best foot forward every day and give it my best shot and be happy with those results.
I think it's also a maturity thing because I know it's something that most people cannot relate to. I know it's something that you also connected with Coach Collins at Northwestern with. So it's good to hear that perspective and glad to see you have that maturity, that mature outlook on it. We grew up in Phoenix during your dad's days with the Suns back in the 1980s. Some awesome memories from our childhood of games at Veterans Memorial Coliseum. Your dad, of course, was the winner of the first NBA slam dunk contest way back in 1984. 5-star dunker for sure. Your brother finished second in 2018, so let's maybe call him a 4-star. How about you though, on a scale of 1 to 5 stars? Because we've seen your dunks in games, but compared to your brother and your pops, how do you rate your own dunking ability?
See, that's where I think we're all totally different. I don't think I was naturally, blessed with their jumping ability. I think that they definitely are a little bit more bouncy than me, but I think there's also a lot of places where in my game that I play a lot more differently than them. I think I kind of have, the jump shot and the ball handling ability over them. So if they're supreme 5-star athletes, I put myself at a 3.5 or 4, but I'm a late bloomer, so it's still coming. That's what I keep telling myself. It's the bounce is still on its way.
Yeah, dude. And in new basketball, you look at a lot of these positions. Our guy George Niang was on the podcast with us. Or some of these 4s who can, dude. You can. The key now is to be able to play multiple positions, do multiple things, and people are less concerned about the ability to jump high outside of, like Rip says, dunk contest, man. But I think the NBA is adjusting a little bit, and your game's really going to be a perfect tune. I think of some other players currently in the league. Is there anybody that, I know you players hate this, but is there any players currently that you kind of watch and you say, I like that, I got that flow kind of fits my style?
No, for sure. And like you said, like I hate to compare myself to any of these guys, but there are a lot of players that I really like to watch certain aspects of their game and how they're successful and try as hard as I can to model that. I think the way that Bam Adebayo is a versatile playmaking big that runs a lot of, dribble handoff actions and is able to defend multiple positions and be a high level defender, all over the floor, I think is somebody that I really like to watch. And then even a guy like Al Horford, who's a big, he can space the floor. He can switch on different guys and being able to defend out on the perimeter.
Step back, hit that 3 if necessary.
Exactly. I think just somebody that you can put him out there and he has a high IQ and he's gonna make the right plays. So I think those 2 guys are guys that I really like to watch and watch how they're effective and successful.
Those guys are also headed for 15, 20-year careers. So that's a huge thing too. Let's stay on the NBA for the last one real quick. The NBA draft, I believe, is in 15 days from today. What's the plan? Where will you be watching, and who will be with you for that?
I think I'll just be at home with my family. Hopefully get a couple of days with them. I've been all over the place and working super hard and, sacrificed a lot of family time to be able to chase my dreams. So excited to be back there and just really kind of just soak everything in and just hang out with them for a couple of days while everything's going on.
Gotcha. Well, we're wishing you the best of luck. Everyone go follow Pete. It's at PeteLN22 on both Twitter and Instagram. Keep tabs on where he ends up in a couple of weeks. The future's bright, Pete. Hey, congratulations on living out your dream. Best of luck the rest of the month, wherever you end up. And thank you for coming on with the One Star Recruits, man.
Awesome. Thank you guys so much for having me. This was great. I really appreciate it.
Thanks again to our guy, Pete Nance. Big ups to Zach at Priority Sports. Great agency out there, Mark Bartelstein, DK in Chicago. The NBA draft is in 14 days, 2 weeks on June 22nd. The NBA does a heck of a job, DK, maybe better than any other league, moving right from their finals into the draft. I think there's like a 3-day break. If the finals goes to 7 games, it's definitely less than a week break, which is crazy because the NFL, the Super Bowl is in February. NFL draft is not until April. Not that the NFL does a bad job, but which method do you think is better?
It's the NBA, but this is mixed in. This has been since David Stern. This was a big David Stern initiative that Adam Silver had continued on, and you'll hear all the owners talk about it consistently. It's 365 days of basketball is the dream for the NBA, and that's, you got to mix international hoops, you got to mix in the G League, definitely have to mix in the WNBA. You want to talk about a league that goes hot from one to the next. I think the WNBA does their draft immediately after the national championship game for the women. So they're flipping it quick, but 365 days of basketball. NBA does it. I mean, what are we talking about this week in the NBA? We should be talking about the finals. Something small happened with LeBron and Kyrie Irving. I think something small moved the needle and all of media shifted. The weight of the world shifted right back over to Kyrie. There's lots going on. We got the French Open going on. There's some F1 going on. We have the NHL finals. I didn't even bring that up, man. Your guy, Jack Eichel getting his shoulder popped off, leaving the game, coming back in and making another assist. I'm starting to get addicted to hockey, Rip. I want to talk about it a little bit. Don't let me get off track here. This is a bit of a tangent, but at the end of the day, the NBA does it really well, I think. Beyond even the draft, I think they're into free agency period. My second favorite day besides the NBA draft and NBA land is the free agency.
It's like July 1st, right? It's right from the finals to the draft to free agency. It really is a NBA summer, man.
Even when I wasn't working in the league, it was a big time waster at the office. Everybody would post up and you would just wait for Woj to drop bombs and talk about it. And it was a big deal. You're able to kind of take that energy of this slower off season and shift it into dreams for fans and people to talk about. So the NBA does a great job at it. The NFL, if the pieces are always in place, Aaron Rodgers in particular held the weight of the world for the NFL the whole offseason. He held it down. You're able to do that in that league because it's so big. I think you got to have a couple things going. We'll see what happens when guys like LeBron are done and a couple of these big Mount Rushmore NBA players, if the league's able to maintain this 365. But I see it, Rip. I see it keep going. I don't see why this thing can't be international. Over time, I don't see how AAU and youth basketball should probably be umbrellaed up in some type of NBA. I know they have the junior NBA, but I think it's probably something a little bit more controlled at the end of the day. Because AAU, essentially, we have the Thompson twins on. We know nothing about the overtime elite as normal fans. I mean, me and you do because we're into that, but we know nothing about that or that world. It's like a select few individuals. So I think eventually that might go under one umbrella, similar to what's happening with LIV and the PGA, and we'll talk about that a little bit more next week. I know everybody's talking about it now, so we'll see how that kind of lands and opens up. But I did call that, Rip. I did call that merger is going to happen sooner than people think.
Yeah, you're the golf guy on this show. Our guy Stanga, you've learned a lot from him, and yeah, man, I already seen some tweets today. Phil Mickelson saying he's back this week. What did I miss? Just like funny stuff that, like, yeah, it's crazy, man. But no one thought, I think, it would happen this quick, but it happened. Hey, DK, I got a question for you. Just a fact check during that interview, because We were talking about the Oreos with Pete Nance. I do want to know how many Oreos you think you could eat in one sitting. I'm always fascinated by this. I know I told you I could eat at least like 60 chicken McNuggets, but the fact check I want to say is Pete referred to Oreos as being in a sleeve. Now, to me, Ritz crackers come in a sleeve. Oreos are in a tray with like, was it 2 or 3 columns? Tell me if I'm right. That Oreos do not come in a sleeve. Am I wrong?
Yeah, you're correct. So sleeve is up for definition, but Oreos come in a pack, is what we call them in the United States of America. Rip, a pack, like a pack of wolves. There's 36 cookies in a single standard pack. So the standard pack that you see at your local store is 36 cookies. So to answer your first question, I can eat about 30. I tap out probably with about 6 left.
You're gonna eat 30 of the 36 and just leave 6 to get soft in your cabinet.
Something with the inside of me doesn't feel good about myself at that point in time. It's probably some self-deprecation. It's probably I probably just want to throw them. You know, it's like you have like a cocaine weekend and there's like a little bit somehow left in the baggie and you just want to throw it because you want it out of your life. I probably feel that way after Oreos. Granted, I haven't done this maybe in 20 years. I think my normal sit down intake, if I do have Oreos in the house, I'm going to say it's about 4. At this stage of my life,
I'm with you. If you're in your 40s and you're eating almost an entire tray of Oreos, like you got other stuff going on.
Yeah,
man.
That's crazy, man. I think my head opens the pack and I just want to grab 2. That's what my head's thinking. My body instincts grab 3, and then my fat boy instincts kick in, and if that 4th comes, and I always happy I grab 4, but that's my operating procedure. Now, a sleeve, let's see what Pete's talking about. So, because he's right too. Okay, so the sleeve comes in a different type of pack. I think it's a Midwest thing, right? But it comes with 12 to 15 full Oreos.
I mean, he's the one that had the NIL deal. I hate to question his terminology, but I did bring up Joey Chestnut, and I mentioned triple digits, and you guys were kind of shocked, and I was kind of joking. But if you gave Joey Chestnut, like, I mean, he eats 84 hot dogs in 10 minutes, or I think it was even more than that. He could probably do 300 Oreos at least. I mean, Oreo is a fraction of the size of a hot dog.
Yeah, I think you could, man. I think what's there? You could probably hit up a Costco sleeve, which is a 10 count at, what did I say? 40, 36, 360. So
yeah, he could easy.
Costco sleeve, Joey Chestnut. That's a 360. NBA full 360. Joey Chestnut eats 360 Oreos. Fucking marketing campaign from heaven.
Show him the money. NBA, Show him the money, Oreo.
Genius, man. Genius. Yeah, I like Oreos. I don't mess with them anymore, man. I'm too old. I get too fat too quick. Here's where I'm at with sweets. I did it today. On the way home today, I stopped by Foodland. I did my thing. I went to the sweet aisle. I took a gander. Guess what I walked away with, man? 2 bags I walked away with. Take a guess.
The new Doritos flavors, hot mustard and was it fancy ketchup or something like that?
Nope, but I did do that in the past week, so that one was checklist done already. My adult snacks that I chose this week are fucking animal crackers. That's where I'm at, back to my sweet stage, man. And for some reason, they smack super hard for me. I don't know why. I don't know if that's crazy, a lunatic thing or whatnot, but 5 or 6 animal crackers and a tall glass of water, fuck, I'm in heaven.
They're very underrated as a snack. And you probably 98% of the animal cracker sales are to people with kids. So you're definitely in the 2 or 1% there. That's if you
like those, even with the kids though, those are actually, you'll hit a couple of those.
We got Costco. Underrated. Costco sells a canister of like 600 animal crackers. My dad actually got us a canister for Christmas. We finished them by like May 15th. It took us like 5 months to eat 700 of them. So if you're eating like 100 animal crackers, that's definitely a 1-star moment of the week right there.
That's like, I think I'm offering listeners a good solution. If you are a snacker, I turn it on. My guy Chili mentioned it on another podcast we do. It's like 7:00 hits at night and my body's like, oh, what kind of shit can I eat? But if I can just grab a handful of 5 or 6 things that kind of hit the right way, it usually will be okay. But sweet Lord, my power hour of eating is about 7 till 9. Key is just to not have things around that you can go hard on. I'll take down a whole thing of wheat thins before I even know it with a hint of salt. You know what I mean?
It's all gas, no breaks at night, man. Even after dinner. Yeah, it's like I heard those guys on Trash Talk Boys say they can go almost the entire day without eating. I can too, but that hit home with me. 7:00, 8:00 comes, you're still hungry after dinner. You're eating a whole tiramisu cake, a whole box of wheat thins, a whole sleeve of Oreos, you name it. It's crazy, man. What
that's not even high. Rip is a sober soldier right there. That's just working off the calories from chasing around kids. What's your 1-star moment of the week, Rip?
Oh man, DK, I had a crazy one. My wife on Sunday, God bless her, she loves animals. She loves dogs. I sent you a picture of this the other day, but I'm sitting outside playing with the kids. She comes home, parks. She gets out of the car. She has a puppy in her hands. She randomly brought home a puppy to our house that we're keeping. Never ran it by me, never did anything. So here's where my 1-star moment of the week is. I got so upset that she brought a puppy home without consulting me, because I think that's like a core thing you run by your spouse, maybe especially when I'm home all day working from home and I got to take care of this. This thing is it's pretty
fair.
young.
That's fair. That hits the run by list for sure.
But so speaking to my 1-star moment of the week, it was actually my reaction, because I went probably 5 or 6 hours without acknowledging the puppy. I didn't make eye contact. I just walked around, whoever was holding it. Everyone was into it. The neighbors, the kids, like everyone. And here's me on a whole different wavelength, just ignoring it like it doesn't exist. I'm taking my regret out on a puppy that my wife brought home. So finally, before bed, it's negative to a positive again. Before bed, she brought it over to me, and I finally, held it and kind of connected with it a little bit. It's like 5 pounds, super small. I'll put a picture on social media. It's the cutest thing ever, but his name is Pancake, just a little brown thing.
Great name.
And I it took me like 5 or 6 hours to fall in love with him. And I acknowledged, he's probably going to be a part of our family forever. So this is what I'm going to do. But yeah, it's just one of those things where that initial reaction you kind of want to take back. But hopefully he doesn't remember that. I mean, he's been following her around the house like 24/7. So I think she's his person, which is totally fine with me. But the super cute puppy, and I felt bad in the way I reacted about it initially.
You good awareness, Rib. Good awareness. But I believe you're okay in your feelings, because that's a communication thing. That's something, because that's affecting your life relatively drastically. Did it just show up in the parking lot at work, or what was it sought after?
No, like I said, she loves animals. Like, she'd have a whole farm if we could. And she's kind of been looking for one, but I have never really given the okay, because we already have a dog, as you know, and I love that dog. And for me, one is enough, but for her, she wants another one, a specific kind. And so she kind of mentioned that like this might become available, and she's going to look at it, but never in my wildest dreams I expect her to just come up, park the car, and show up with a puppy that's never going away. So yeah, that's kind of the story there. But like I said, really a cute dog, and hopefully he'll grow as part of our family.
Pancake. How many times you pancake in your house so far?
He hasn't yet. So that's the other thing. He's 7 months old. He's still super small, but not like newborn. He's 7 months old, and he's supposedly housebroken. I think he did pee on our tile in the bathroom, but it could have also been my 4-year-old. So we got to get a surveillance camera in there. But that's been the only hiccup so far. So yeah, but he's good so far. Good to go.
Human or dog pee. It is the tough detective job, but Rip will figure it out. We'll have it for you next week. Well, good job being in touch with your emotions. Hope you apologize to your lovely wife, and we'll learn from this. What is the lesson? Did we check yourself before you wreck yourself?
Yeah, I mean, basically, it's just like try to get over that initial thing quicker, that initial thought or feeling quicker. I mean, I don't know. Someone DM us, tell us the lesson, preferably like a female.
Give Rip a life lesson. I mean, the first time a puppy lays eyes on me, it's hard for me to do the walk by. But
that's why I didn't want to look. That's why I didn't want to make eye contact, because I knew.
I've been laughing so hard watching you pacing around your house, trying to not make eye contact. Little bald man walking around trying to make eye contact.
Oh, it was just
tell
like
kids to get in their pajamas. Get out of here.
That was exactly for 5 hours in my house Sunday night. That's exactly what it was, DK. What was your 1-star moment?
Get a life, Reb. We all love puppies. My 1-star moment of the week. I had a pretty good week, man. It was kind of harder to look for this until I peeled back the first onion of bullshit and realized that I'm going to use this 1-star moment for something a little more serious. I got my annual doctor's checkup. Men, if you're listening, schedule your doctors. I know it's something that we tend not to do sometimes, but I'm in it now every year at this point in time because stuff like this. So I got my annual checkup, 176, 6 foot, good blood pressure, good BMI. My BMI is at 18. What's your BMI, Rip? Probably 27, you fat ass.
Bowel movement index?
Your body mass index, bro.
Oh, I don't
go
know.
with your bowel movement. So there's a tie. I purposely did not eat breakfast before I went into the doctor for some reason because I wanted to be skinny for the doctor. How weird is that? Who does that?
Dude, like a egomaniac over here.
What a weirdo. Fucking A. Anyway, so all good. Unfortunately, though, a couple moles on my back are a little bit miscolored, we'll say. Not terrifyingly miscolored, but enough that I got to get a dermatologist appointment set up and go check that out. So my 1-star moment of the week is possible melanoma. You know, we'll keep our fingers crossed. Benign, nothing going on there. The doc doesn't think it's serious enough to get me an appointment before I got the call today, September 7th. Healthcare in Maui, baby. Can't beat it. We need more doctors and nurses if you're listening.
Also, very close to your birthday. That's a shitty birthday present.
The first offer was my birthday. I said, let's not do that day, but the next one. So I'm gonna go get them checked out. I'm from Arizona, so we're used to moles and getting moles checked out. Relatively normal. I think catch it early. So my 1-star moment of the week. It's not my wreck of the week as well, but go check out your body and get your things checked out. You never know. And keep your fingers crossed that these little moles on my back, I didn't get too much of this Hawaii sun.
Don't jinx yourself, man. You're usually pretty good with sunscreen. I was out there in January. You're applying it like multiple times a day. But I would like to point out that I'm talking about super cute puppies, and you're talking about back moles, DK. We're not in sync this week.
Yeah, we're not in sync, but it is serious and it's good reminders. So you got even if you got a miscolored mole, go get that thing checked out. It is some real shit. So that's my 1-star moment of the week, health. So that's kind of a bummer. My 1-star wreck is not a bummer. I can flow right into that, bro. I'll hit you right in the face with this one.
Recommendation of the week. Let's go.
Recommendations of the week, quick and easy. Anything that made us smile. This one happened 2 nights ago to me. Unexpected. The best wrecks are the unexpected wrecks. You know what I mean? So, there's a McDonald's has regional menu here. You know that? Have we talked about this?
I think so. They have like Spam Wasubi and stuff like that on the menu, or Mocha Loco, or something that you can't get anywhere. It's not
really that bad. You have Portuguese sausage and Spam and eggs for breakfast. They offer a couple of different pies. I'm going to talk about one of them today. They offer some special coconut iced coffees, are seasonal. What else do they drop here? Guys, there's a couple other I'm not remembering right now. Hawaii listeners, hit us up on Instagram and tell me that I'm dumb for missing these. Anyway, when sometimes we'll do Joey Days is getting ready to make fun of me for my fat ass right now, but we'll do McDonald's about once every 2 weeks. But we just split a 2 cheeseburger meal, me and my wife, 1 cheeseburger each. It's probably about 12 fries and a bottle of water. This time she said, I got you a dessert, and she broke open this pie, which I'm used to having the McDonald's apple pies, which are fucking great. Those are great desserts. I mean,
5-star.
Really, you give those 5-star, Rip?
For fast food desserts? Hell yeah.
I mean, if you haven't had one in a while, go get yourself an apple pie and close your eyes. I don't know if it's a nostalgia thing, or if they just are like, if somebody served that to me at a 5-star Michelin star restaurant and maybe dress it up with a little bit like really good ice cream and told me it was $40, I'd probably be happy paying $40. Might be crazy, might not be, but I think they're delicious. The one she brought home was a McDonald's taro pie. So taro pie has chunks of purple taro inside of it, which is Hawaiian sweet potato, and all the filling is inside, deep fried, golden brown, and then it has all the fat sugar on top of it. And it was so hot, it was so flaky, and I said, holy shit, this is so bomb. So if you're in Hawaii, hit up McDonald's. It's like when people travel to Europe and stuff, you'll hit McDonald's maybe on your last couple of days just to see what's up, and they always have some interesting little regional stuff here. The Hawaii pies, so they do a hopia pie, which is kind of like a chocolate cream and some mac nut, and then they do this taro pie, which is a little bit more like a sweet potato pie you would have in the South, but it's purple. So check that out. Taro pie, big wreck, so delicious, made me so happy. Probably 714 calories, probably.
You're always in a tough spot because you live in Hawaii, obviously, and we have about 5% of our listeners are there. So a lot of your recs exclude like 95% of our audience. But a lot of our audience goes to Hawaii, especially in the summer. So that is good timing for, like, I know those guys like Rossi and Onik are probably gonna be heading to Maui pretty soon. Stop at McDonald's on the way home from the
anybody
airport.
does. I mean, the ultimate, the play to do, if I said the play, get a pie if you're just doing normal, you want to check something out. But if you want to have a morning fun, go to McDonald's, get the Spam, Portuguese sausage, eggs and rice, go take it to the beach and eat that. You'll be happy as a pig in shit. What's your rec, Rip?
Yeah, my recommendation of the week, it kind of flows along with my 1-star moment of the week, because I was in my emotions that Sunday, and the next day my son was in a bad mood. So I said, you know what? I thought about this song by Bobby McFerrin, Don't Worry, Be Happy. It's like the simplest song, Don't Worry, Be Happy. It's 4 words. That's like, it's so simple. It's such simple advice. So we were driving home from his piano practice. I put it on in the car. We didn't talk for like 3 minutes, just listen to the song. And actually my phone dropped like under the seat, so I couldn't even do anything. And it was just playing.
Like the side of the seat, the side or
the side, yeah, where it's so hard to get. And so
that.
But I couldn't touch it. So the song kept playing. I'm like, it's the first time he's ever heard the song.
It's the universe.
I was really feeling it. It's yeah. So that's my recommendation of the week, is just put on that song if you're in a bad mood, or just, you know, just in like a lull. Don't Worry, Be Happy by Bobby McFerrin. It'll make you feel really good, DK.
It's a funny song because I do like that song. It is a good gem and it will make you feel happy, but it rides a thin line of balance that's why it's dangerous, especially the phone goes in the French fry zone in that center thing where your hand can't quite fit. You get 3 or 4 plays of Don't Worry, Be Happy. Then it starts to become a little bit of like some torture, like a torture song.
Then you got to pull over. You got to pull over and really dig for your phone at that point.
Oh, there's nothing worse. You get mad because your fat wrist won't get in there. Then you finally get home and you got to lift this. You got to move the electric seat up and then move it back and then get under and look. We've all been there, Rip. We've all been there. Great rec, bro. Great rec. Hey, listeners, 5 stars out there. It's the best way to show that you enjoy our podcast. Anybody who wants to learn more about the Nance family, Tar Heel fan, NBA draft fan, send this along to them. Learn about Pete Nance. I'm saying it right here, Rip. I think he would be a great starting center or power forward for the Santa Cruz Warriors if an NBA team doesn't jump on him. So looking at you guys, Ryan Atkinson, Kirk Lakeup, you got a good Tar Heel. I know we've had success with Tar Heels in Santa Cruz. We had oh, come on, Dana, you know this. Help me, Rip.
It's Michael
McAdoo. Same.
So also offspring of an NBA legend, right?
Nope, not true. I think maybe a distant second cousin or something, but it's not as close as we think it is in that case. But hey, mark the tape, baby. Maybe I got a Santa Cruz pick right here and somebody's hearing about it here with Pete Nance. But 5 stars, we appreciate it so much. Rip, hit the music. I'm gonna run you through a couple hitters.
Here we go.
Well, Taylor Swift and Matt Heatley broke up after a 1-month romance. Rip, why is love so hard?
Love is hard because a lot of people don't know how to communicate, and a lot of people that do know how to communicate don't do it properly, DK. That's my 1-star moment of the week, is perfect example, and everyone's guilty of it. But love is work. It's not, this doesn't just happen every single day you wake up. You got to work at it, DK, and apparently they got a lot of other stuff going on.
The worst by far spy in American history, FBI agent turned spy Robert Hansen, died in a Colorado prison at age 79. A Russian spy, Rip. What's your tips to being the best spy that you can be if you're a dad?
The best spy that you can be if you're a dad is get lots of cameras, take advantage of technology. There's lots of apps out there. No, it's true, DK. My Ring doorbell, I can be on the road at some other event and I can spy on my kids in the front yard. And that's just a simple like $150 Ring doorbell. Some of my neighbors have like full surveillance on their kids in their neighborhood and everything else. You can't walk by and have your dog take a piss on their tree without getting a text message.
So true. NFL's investigating a Colts player, a cornerback, for gambling. Rip, is gambling still too new, or are players just dumb?
It's still too new. It's like NIL. It's the Wild West, because especially with some of these guys who aren't making a ton of money. I think we've yet to see someone who's a star or a superstar get busted for it. But these fringe guys who have worked their whole lives to get to the NFL, but are making, the league minimum, which is what, probably $700,000 a year, or practice squad guys. Like, I get the temptation because you're on the inside, but you just gotta have the willpower and not do it, man.
Don't do it. Get it off your phone. Take it off the app. USC landed 3 4-stop prospects in one day. Rip, can you sing the USC fight song?
I could try to play it on like a trumpet if I had one here.
Let's
but,
hear it.
Yeah.
Let's play it with your voice.
I mean, it's fight on is all I know. I have no idea about the song. We should get on it to Colin.
Trumpet it with your mouth right now. Listeners want it. Give it to them.
Dude. Hey, do you got this new mic, this new Yeti? Let's see how it comes out.
Comedian Madam Lamb.
Cut me off. Cut us off.
5 stars. See you later.
See you next week.